Hey guys, Mike and I'm back, not with the Fisker Ocean, but rather this video is about the Samsung washer. Many of you either own this model.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
The Active Water Jet WA series, or you're contemplating purchasing this model.
No! God, please, no! No!
I'm about to explain a few things that have gone wrong with ours in the last 2 years and how to fix it if it does happen to you. This is the serial number and the model number that we are referencing today. As you can see, I have a lot of tools and the back panel of this washing machine off. That is because in 2 years there have been a few things that have gone wrong. If your washing machine throws an unbalanced load or a UL code on your display, it is likely to be these tension rods. You can see them here. There's two in the front, and what happens is these rubber bushings wear out. Those bushings are easy to replace. Basically, you just support the bottom of this, you pull that rod out, and you can see right up there, it slides right out. You do that to all four corners, and unfortunately, to remove the two in the front, you do have to come and remove these rubber caps, get to the screws there, and take this entire top assembly off. It only takes just a few moments, and then you have access to the front rods. The second major thing that has happened with this Samsung washing machine is an SC code which deals with this pump. This pump is easy to remove if you do have to replace the pump itself or you determine that the pump is burned out. It's simply two screws and it mounts right back down into that area. So it doesn't require anything but this panel removed, and then you can remove the pump as you see here. This clamp being held by the drain tube is simply just a needle nose pliers, and you pull that off and the entire pump comes off. This cabling is just a few clamps here, and then you have the positive and the ground. So black being the ground, yellow being the constant or the positive side. So it's pretty easy to remove this, but what are some things that can go wrong? Well, in the washing machine itself, since you don't have an agitator, you have a high efficiency unit at the bottom here that spins, and in that tiny little crack, things can sometimes get by. In my case, what happened was this little pad with its plastic snaps snuck by, went into this drain tube, got into the pump, and blocked the impeller, which I'll show you right there. So the impeller itself can be blocked by something like a sock that makes its way through the drain process and stops it pretty easily. I grabbed it with a needle nose pliers, but I had to remove this this component, and you want to be very gentle because this is made of rubber. What this does is it sits on top of and wrapped around here, but this is a backflow valve, and it helps create enough flow upwards into the tube by pumping water up. Then this seals, then it pumps more water, and allows the drain to function correctly while also preventing debris from going back into the pump housing. So the symptoms are your pump is not working. First thing to check is if there's a clog in this area of the tube. That's very easy to do. You see there's a Phillips. You can unscrew that. You can needle nose this. You can take the tube. You can check that out. Second thing is you can check the primary drain hose that goes to the back of the wall. See if anything's caught up in this that's preventing it from draining. Or the third thing, if anything's blocking the impeller. If all three of those are clear, you can disconnect this hose, plug this in, have the pump hanging out here, have a bucket or a towel ready, just run a cup of water and see if anything's moving. If the impeller is not spinning at all and you can see it with your eyes, but the pump is just humming, chances are this unit's dead and you need to order another one from Samsung. In my case, it was clogged, and as I was inspecting it, I accidentally tore this, I'll show you, rubber backflow valve, and now it is unable to generate enough flow out, and it's just spinning the water inside. So you do need this part, and unfortunately for the WA50 model, that part is $79, guys. This little piece of rubber is $79. So you want to be very careful when removing it, and gently lift up on the edges over here, not on the side that has the flapper, to remove it. Well, everything else on the Samsung is pretty easy to replace. You can even replace the whole circuit board, and that's just a couple screws right in the back here. That whole unit will come off and you can replace it. The motor itself, you can see how easy that is to get to. You would just tip this over on its face, and a couple screws later, that's removed. If you have any questions about this, please leave it in the comment section. Sometimes what can happen is during the aggressive draining process and spinning process, these cables can get knocked loose and actually fall out of their receptacle. So please check that if you have a completely quiet pump during the drain process. Maybe it's that simple for you. But if you do have to replace these tension rods for that banging, unbalanced load kind of feel, do not fret about that. It is not very expensive at all, and the upgrades are significantly better that are purchased from Amazon. Hopefully this video helps you and you are able to take care of your Samsung washer so that way you don't have an issue in the future. Cheers.